Delhi's coronavirus situation is getting worse by the day. The spike in the number of cases is really alarming, and the man at the center of it is Arvind Kejriwal. How is he managing the situation? Tushar Gupta is closely watching developments in Delhi, and I'm going to turn to him. Tushar, what do you think about the management or the lack of it currently in Delhi with regard to the pandemic?
Well, hi Karan. Yes, Delhi is in doldrums completely. The healthcare facilities seem to have broken down. On Sunday, this Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal announced that he was going to reserve the the Delhi state-run hospitals for the residents of Delhi, and also reserve some private beds where special surgeries aren't being performed for the residents of Delhi. Thankfully, better sense prevailed, and the Lieutenant Governor merely more than 24 hours later overturned that decision. He cancelled it completely, stating that Delhi belongs to everyone, and rightfully so. But yes, the bigger question that is warranted beyond all the politics is how is the healthcare management? Well, it's bad. I mean, one thing is the private hospitals are making a killing in terms of making the money. Just yesterday, I had a friend who got someone admitted and they had to pay more than 2 lakhs just as a deposit. People are not being tested because, of course, there's a limit at how many people can be tested. But again, there is a problem. The hospital beds are not accessible. I've been speaking to a lot of people, given I have I live in Delhi almost all the time. So people are saying the bed accessibility is a problem. And if they are lucky, they get to find a bed in any hospital after going through 5, 6 different hospitals. So that's a challenge, Karan, because the virus is spreading and spreading quickly. And people who have breathing issues, people with other ailments like diabetes, cardiac issues, for them, the virus is a problem. And to not be able to find a bed or to shell out such a large amount of money, say more than 1.5 lakh for med deposit and then another 1 lakh per day for the ICU, that's a problem. And Kejriwal doesn't seem to have a hold on any of it.
Right, Tushar, Delhi government's assessment itself of how the cases are going to rise pegs the number at a lakh by the month end. So that's the kind of numbers we are looking at. Now, in light of that, things are going to get harder and harder for Kejriwal. Now, you recently wrote a piece that might be thought of as provocative by some, where you called in for the president's rule in Delhi in light of the mismanagement. Could you talk about that, please?
See, yes, Satyendra Jain, Delhi government's health minister, he's putting the number at 50,000 in the next week or so. The Deputy Chief Minister Manish Sisodia puts the number at 550,000 by the end of July. That's 500,000, more than 500,000. Currently, if we even go by the 3% mortality rate, which is being witnessed in Delhi right now, at 550,000 cases by the end of July, that would mean more than 16,000 people dead. Now, did author a piece saying we should consider president's rule. That is, the center should consider president's rule. Of course, the legality of it has already been discussed. It can happen. Now, why? One, the healthcare infrastructure has broken down completely. If the state government has to opt for silly decisions like reserving beds for the people of Delhi and things like that, of course, the entire infrastructure has broken down. The second thing is, Karan, we're looking at an economic recovery right now. Now, for anyone who's not living in North India, it might be a little difficult to understand, so I'll elaborate upon it. Delhi is the nucleus when it comes to trade in North India. Any economic recovery, any path to economic recovery has to go through Delhi. So if Delhi is shut or if Delhi is experiencing the situation like which was witnessed in New York, the trade won't recover. So there is an economic interest as well in getting the president's rule. Now, why do we really need the president's rule? One other reason is the state government doesn't seem to be in a position to mobilize more resources. Now, Delhi, the way the city is, it's very urbanly dense. It's a very densely populated city and they need more beds. Now, in April end, Kejriwal made the statement that they were in a position to deal with 30,000 active cases. 30,000 active cases. So I'm assuming they had 30,000 beds ready. The Delhi government has come up with an app, and if I open the app right now, it shows me beds somewhere around 9,400 with 5,000 of them occupied. Now, these are some very mismatching numbers, and we have some 18,000 cases in Delhi. So the entire healthcare infrastructure, the economic interest of Delhi, it's the political capital of India and the economic capital of North India. So we need to start looking at president's rule. Another reason is that time and again, unfortunately, the Aam Aadmi Party government has proved that it's incapable of working with other state governments, especially what we saw in Anand Vihar, the kind of fiasco we witnessed. It was miserable for the people there. At the end, we have to keep the citizen interest above the people. I'll be happy if Arvind Kejriwal can offer some very credible solutions, putting beds, and their beds can be arranged, Karan. We'll come back to that later, but beds can be arranged. It's not a situation where people have to give up or the government has to give up. But if Arvind Kejriwal cannot come up with any credible solutions, then it's better he steps aside instead of blaming the lieutenant governor, saying that he's working on the behest of the BJP and things like that. So if he can come up with credible solutions, well and good. Otherwise, for the greater economic interests, for the greater interest of the people of Delhi, and for saving lives, I think the president's rule is warranted now.
Right. Tushar, also we are noticing in several pockets of Delhi, the positivity rate is really shooting up. So, and in also we've had a bit of a to and fro in decisions in terms of let's open up the economy, let's not do that, let's open up the borders, let's not do that. Between this swing in these decisions, what are some simple methods, for instance, like home quarantine? Should they be asking people to just stay back home now?
See, ideally, Karan, that's one thing the government has been asking, that people who can stay at home should stay at home. I have someone in my extended family who's choosing to stay home. But here's the problem with it. For example, if I am tested positive for COVID-19 tomorrow, and someone in my family is suffering from diabetes or some other ailment, and if I happen to pass on the disease to them, they would be in a testing position. They would have some really serious health condition. Delhi as a city, it's not a place where a lot of open spaces are available for people. Social distancing in cities like New York, Mumbai, as we saw, and Delhi, it's not that simple, Karan. So the idea, as China did in Wuhan, we need to get more beds arranged. Even though people there are just quarantined, they're isolated. But if you just put people in home quarantine, there will always be the risk of those people infecting their family members. For instance, any child who gets tested positive, they might infect their grandparents or somehow in the family. So one case could result in 5 or 7, because we need to understand, even with all its political capacity and economic powerhouse and everything, Delhi has people who are from the lower income groups, from the lower middle class, and social distancing, when 3 people share a room in peak summer, it's not always possible. We need to be a little thoughtful of that too, the way people are. Just to simply say that people should be in home quarantine is honestly a little heartless, and instead, arrangements should be made where they can be isolated from their families, say in a local community area, for the greater good.
Right, Tushar, you've touched upon this aspect of availability of beds in Delhi before, but let's press in on this and see it in totality. What is the question of availability of beds has become quite big now. What do you see the situation is, and what can be done?
Right. Karan, I was just speaking to a doctor yesterday. I was just talking to someone who's been working with people in Mumbai. So they told me that the point of having beds is not that there's some elaborate treatment that is required. Most of the patients require vitamin C tablets, which can be easily supplied by the nurses. But the point is, they need to be isolated, so beds have to be arranged. Now the Delhi government, what they could have ideally done, Delhi, given it has Delhi University, which sees students from across India, it has a lot of paying guest accommodations which are currently empty because it was the end of the session and students have gone home. The hotel area, there are 2 big hotel areas in Delhi. One is Paharganj, which caters to a lot of foreign population, people stepping out of the Delhi railway station. They happen to enter Paharganj, a dense array of hotels, a lot of beds available there. Then there is the Aerocity area, which is right next to the Indira Gandhi International Airport. Now these 2 areas, they could have been reached out. People here could have been reached out. Hotel owners who are already depressed, economically depressed by this entire situation. The Delhi government could have reached out, rented more beds, and instead, Kejriwal's government was actually the first in India to reach out to hotels to create quarantine facilities. So they're already embarked on that very smart path. Somehow they've just not capitalized on it. So one thing they could have done, they could have tied up with hotel owners, offered them a rent, let's say for the month of June, July, and probably August, and taken over the beds, because isolation is important. Second thing, After getting in touch with the hotel owners, both in Paharganj and Aerocity, they could have reached out to the owners of paying guest accommodations. Karan, these are times when anyone would be looking to make a quick buck, especially people whose rent prospects have been hurt. So by having paying guest accommodations double up as quarantine facilities, they could have shot two birds with one stone. One, they could have created a local quarantine center, for instance, a quarantine center for a locality. So the supply of food and things like that could have been easily managed. Second, they would have solved the problem of home quarantine. That could have been happened. And in this process, they could have created far more beds. So people who are not suffering very critically, they could have been shifted to those quarantine centers. And people who are in dire need of treatment, say ventilators and things like that, intensive care, they could have been shifted to the hospitals. Of course, it would have warranted a lot of coordination on the ground. But given the kind of network the Aam Aadmi Party has in Delhi, they could have certainly pulled it off. All they needed was the passion and the dedication to do it, which somehow is missing, unfortunately.
Right, Tushar. Also, in this pandemic situation, state economies are extremely stressed, which is stating the obvious. But when you consider a state like, Delhi, you see that Kejriwal was offering a lot of free services, like, for instance, electricity or water, or he was even proposing free rides for women in metros. There was free rides for women in buses already. In terms of the economic management, in terms of the politics of freebies, what would you say?
See, Karan, whatever is happening in Delhi right now, and even whatever is happening in Mumbai, it serves as a very important lesson in the management of good times. I'll speak about Mumbai first, a very short note. The BMC was under the Shiv Sena for a long time, and they did nothing to reform it. They did nothing to address the underlying issues which had already been there. And today they're suffering because of it. Now, coming back to Delhi, Arvind Kejriwal, who started his sixth year in governance in Delhi, has insisted always that there's always a lot of money in the state treasury. The politicians of other parties have always been, misleading the population when it comes to the usage of money. He even went on record and said that the Delhi government had been in profit for 5 years. Now, Karan, I come from a business family. Let me be very straightforward. 5 years of profits are not wiped out after 2 months of lockdown. So to say that 2 months of lockdown had cleared away 5 years of profits, that's a completely false statement, right? Now, in one of his recent interviews, Kejriwal made a statement. A TV anchor asked him that, sir, you've been offering a lot of freebies and don't they have a cost? So he was very random in saying that, oh, they just cost 150 crore rupees and it's not a very big dent on the state revenues. Now, here's my problem, Karan. 150 crore rupees right now could have actually enabled the renting of hotels and paying guest accommodations for 3 months. A lot of them. Even if they could have increased the capacity by, let's say, 30 to 60,000 beds, that would have meant a lot just for quarantine. So just to say that, 150 crore rupees doesn't matter, when you spend harshly, when you spend carelessly in your good times, you tend to suffer in your bad times. This is one point I've already been insisting. So this is a lesson for the people of Delhi and anyone in any other state, that the politics of freebies always comes back to haunt you. If Kejriwal had been a little smarter with the way he had gone about his revenues, we wouldn't be seeing this problem today. And the other problem is we have two extremes now. In the center, the Narendra Modi-led government has always encouraged people to pay their taxes. When they introduced GST, the point was to kill the black marketing and the, informal business activities. On the other hand, we have the Kejriwal government who discourages people from paying their bills. And I've spoken to a lot of people in Delhi, Karan. I have almost so many families I know in Delhi. All of them are very happy to pay the bills. No one is averse to the idea of paying the bill. But then again, today, who's suffering? It's not the government of Delhi. It's the people of Delhi. The same people who were, somehow discouraged from paying those bills. So this should be a lesson in the politics of previes. It needs to stop. Today, the money could have been put to better use, but it's not going to be put to. That's why I'm advocating for President's rule, because the center might be in a position to mobilize more resources. And at this time, we really need to keep the interests of the Delhi people before anyone else.
Great, Tushar. Thank you for your insights.